Everyone can imagine that kind of humiliation. In a crowded place, someone powerful seeing you as a toy. Dismissing your race, your body, even your culture. Los Angeles, 1971. Bruce Lee experienced exactly that. A 320-pound Soviet wrestling champion called him a Chinese toy in front of 40 athletes and coaches, smiling, flexing his muscle mass. That moment of silence, the expression on Bruce's face, and the 6 seconds that followed became etched in that gym's history. Los Angeles, March 1971. 10:15 in the morning. Westwood Athletic Club. 2-story sports complex on Broadway Avenue. Weight rooms, wrestling mats, boxing rings. The walls smell of sweat. The air is humid, heavy. Outside the large windows, the California sun is shining, but inside the atmosphere is cold, tense. This morning is not an ordinary training morning. The Soviet national wrestling team is on a U.S. tour in the middle of Cold War political tensions under the guise of friendship and cultural exchange. Behind the diplomatic courtesy mask, the real goal is propaganda, to demonstrate Soviet power, superiority, the physical perfection of the socialist system. 6 wrestlers, 2 coaches, 1 interpreter, each carefully selected, each a champion. Westwood Athletic Club owner Frank Martinez, a Puerto Rican former boxer, has approved this visit but feels uncomfortable. He whispers to his assistant, "They didn't come here for respect. They came for a show of force," but he couldn't refuse. There's press, cameras, political pressure. So he opened the doors, allocated his gym to the Soviet guests, and quietly warned his own athletes, "Stay calm. Don't rise to provocation." But there's something Frank doesn't know. Bruce Lee will also be at this gym today. Unplanned. Coincidence. He came for a private lesson, a special training session at 10:30 with a Hollywood stunt coordinator, a small private room reserved. Nobody knows that these two worlds will intersect this morning. 10:20. Bruce Lee enters through the entrance. Black sweatpants, white t-shirt, gym bag over his shoulder. Silent steps, relaxed posture. His eyes register everything but his face remains expressionless. The receptionist recognizes him, greets him. Room 3 is ready. Bruce nods in acknowledgement, thanks him, walks toward the corridor. Passing the main training hall, he stops. Just a moment. Just a glance. 6 giant men doing warm-up exercises on the wrestling mat, each between 280 and 320 pounds. Muscles tense, faces serious. The Soviet flag hanging over their gym bags. The Soviet national anthem playing softly from a tape recorder. This isn't training. This is a demonstration. Dmitri Volkov, the largest one. 6'4" height, 320 pounds weight, Caucasian origins, curly dark hair, thick mustache, hands like shovels. 1968, Soviet wrestling champion. 1970, World Championship silver medal. 48 international matches, 42 victories. He's only lost 6 times, and in each loss his opponent was at least as big as him in his own weight category. Dmitri has never lost to anyone smaller. Never. As Bruce passes, Dmitri raises his head, pauses. His eyes scan Bruce. Small, thin, Asian. He grimaces, says something in Russian to his teammate beside him. They both laugh. Loudly. Even if Bruce doesn't hear it, he understands from the tone. Mocking, dismissive, but he doesn't turn his face, just continues, toward the corridor, toward his own room. 10:25. Bruce enters the private training room, sets down his bag, stretches lightly. Deep breath. Mind calm. Today he'll just work on technique. The stunt coordinator wants to learn realistic fighting movements for film scenes. Bruce loves this. He loves teaching, loves sharing knowledge. No ego, just sincerity. But outside, in the main hall, something is changing. 10:35. Dmitri Volkov takes a water break, sweating, muscles pumped, feeling good, strong, invincible. Walks out to the corridor for water. There, the door to the room where Bruce is training is ajar. Dmitri glances as he passes. Inside, Bruce is showing a Wing Chun movement to the stunt coordinator. Fast hand techniques, light, fluid, like water. Dmitri stops, watches, a few seconds, then laughs. Out loud, shakes his head, mutters something to himself in Russian, then enters, uninvited, without invitation. Opens the door, his broad shoulders filling the frame. Bruce stops, turns, looks at Dmitri. Silence. The stunt coordinator tenses. Who is this man? Why did he come in? Dmitri speaks English, heavy Russian accent, but clear. This kung fu, points his finger at Bruce. This what you teach in America? Bruce remains calm. Wing Chun and Jeet Kune Do. My system. Dmitri grins. Your system. Shakes his head as if he's heard something very funny. Small systems for small people. Hits his chest, that massive chest. The thud echoes. Wrestling for big men. Real power. Bruce doesn't respond, just listens. But something stirs inside him. Arrogance. Again, always the same arrogance. In the West, in the East, everywhere, big men don't take small men seriously. Dmitri continues, voice rising. In Soviet Union, Asian martial arts are toys. For show, dance. Real fighting is wrestling. Power, strength, weight. Raises his arms, showing off his muscles. Triceps, biceps, shoulders, everything swollen, veins bulging. How much you weigh? 60, 65 kilos? Bruce remains calm again. 63 kilos? Dmitri laughs. I am 145 kilos. You are toy, Chinese toy. And there it is. That moment, that word. Toy. A racist tone. A dismissive look. The stunt coordinator holds his breath. Bruce's facial expression doesn't change, but something forms in his eyes. Calm but deep. A focus. A decision. Someone shouts from the door. The Soviet coach in the corridor calling Dmitri. Come back. But Dmitri doesn't care. He wants to prove a point here. Bruce speaks. His voice low but clear. Size does not mean power. The muscle you see can be useless. Real power comes from here. Points to his head. And here. Points to his heart. Dmitri is mocking. Philosophy. Words. Waves his hand. Words cannot enter the ring. Bruce takes a step closer. Do you want to enter the ring? Silence. Dmitri's grin freezes. Is this a joke? This small man is challenging him? 145 kilos against 63? Dmitri looks back. A few teammates have appeared in the corridor, watching. Now he can't back down. His pride won't allow it. Okay. Dmitri nods. Come, main hall. Show me what Chinese toy can do. But what Bruce accepted wasn't just a physical challenge. What he accepted was the honor of his own culture, the dignity of his race. And Dmitri didn't yet know that 6 seconds later, the floor would be very cold. 10:42. Main hall. Dmitri enters with long strides. Behind him, Bruce calm, quiet. The stunt coordinator follows. Anxious. Bruce, you don't need to do this. The man is a professional wrestler. 145 kilos. Bruce doesn't answer, just walks. In the main hall, 6 Soviet wrestlers, 2 coaches, the interpreter. Everyone notices. Dmitri says something in Russian. Excited. Teammates laugh. Approach curiously. What's happening? Frank Martinez, the gym owner, comes out of his office. He heard the voices. What's going on here? Tense, but too late. Dmitri is already in the center of the mat, arms spread to both sides, gesturing to Bruce. Come, show. Bruce steps onto the mat, barefoot, sweatpants, white t-shirt. Ordinary, unprepared. But there's something in his posture, a centeredness, a completeness, as if he's already calculated everything. Frank intervenes. Gentlemen, this isn't an official match. We don't want any injuries. Dmitri cuts him off. No injuries, just demonstration. I will be gentle. Grins. I won't hurt him, just teach him. Bruce is silent, his eyes on Dmitri, but there's no anger in his gaze. Just calculation, reading, identifying weak points, analyzing body language. 40 people have gathered around. The Soviet team, gym members, a few coaches, curious athletes. Everyone knows, this isn't equal, but everyone wants to watch, because you don't see things like this every day. Dmitri speaks with a broad gesture. In Soviet wrestling, we learn, be big, be strong. You can crush opponent. Raises his arms, as thick as arms can be. Your kung fu, what does it teach? Be fast? Dance? Bruce responds, raising his voice slightly for the first time, but still calm. Jeet Kune Do teaches. Discard the useless. Keep the useful. Use your opponent's power against him. Be like water. Water doesn't crash into obstacles. Water flows around obstacles. And over time, water erodes rock. Dmitri laughs. Water? I'm not rock. I'm mountain. Bruce smiles. For the first time. Slight. But there's something in his eyes. Mountains also erode. A few people in the hall laugh lightly. Dmitri's face hardens. Enough words. Now time for action. Okay, we start. I don't attack. You attack me. Show. Show your speed. Show your Chinese dance. Bruce shakes his head. You move. I will respond. Dmitri gets annoyed. No, you start. I will wait. I won't even hold you. Just show your power. Bruce stands. Thinks. This is a trap, but also an opportunity. Dmitri, because of his pride, has completely opened his defense. Sees himself as superior. Big mistake. Okay. Bruce says. Are you ready? Dmitri spreads his arms to both sides. Chest open. Ready. Come. The hall holds its breath. But what Dmitri didn't know was this. Bruce Lee didn't see a human body as just muscle and bone. He saw a human body as energy channels, nerve networks, pressure points, and in 6 seconds, all of Dmitri's muscle mass would be useless. Bruce stands, still, hands at sides, center of gravity balanced, eyes focused on Dmitri's chest, breathing, slow, deep, mind empty but completely awake. Don't think, feel. His own philosophy. Now time for application. Dmitri waits, arms open, grinning, 40 people watching, silence. Bruce moves, but not as everyone expects. No attack, just a step forward. Entered Dmitri's personal space, distance 1 meter. Dmitri backs up slightly, surprised. What are you doing? Attack. Bruce's left hand rises, light, open palm, touches Dmitri's chest, contact. Gentle, almost loving. Dmitri laughs. This? Bruce's right hand moves, invisible speed, to Dmitri's solar plexus, just below the sternum, not fingers. Palm, perfect angle, perfect power transfer. Like an unexploded bomb, sudden energy release. Dmitri's body shakes, diaphragm spasms, sudden, uncontrolled, breath gone, lungs not responding. Mouth opens but no sound comes out, eyes in shock. 145 kilos of muscle useless because muscles can't work without oxygen. Dmitri's knees buckle. Involuntary, body can't support its own weight. Brain in damage control mode. Energy redirected only to protect vital organs. Legs secondary priority. Dmitri falls, 145 kilos collapsing onto the mat. Thud sound, hands going to his chest, mouth open, trying to breathe but diaphragm not yet responding. Dmitri on the ground, lying on his side, eyes looking at the ceiling, in shock. Bruce, standing, hands at sides, breathing regular. No expression on his face, just waiting for Dmitri to breathe. 6 seconds, just 6 seconds. The hall is frozen. 40 people, none speaking, none moving, trying to understand what happened. Dmitri was standing, strong, laughing, now on the ground, breathless, motionless. 6 seconds, just 6 seconds. The Soviet coach runs. Dmitri drops to his knees, grabs Dmitri's shoulder. Dmitri's lips moving, no breath coming, face red, then purple. Bruce approaches, calm, touches the coach, diaphragm spasm, no panic, normal in 20 seconds, says it in English. The interpreter translates, but the coach doesn't trust. What did you do to him? Bruce doesn't answer, just looks at Dmitri. 10 seconds pass, Dmitri's breath returning, shallow but coming, deep breath from the mouth, then coughing, strong cough, hands on the floor, trying to push himself up. Bruce extends his hand, to help, toward Dmitri. Dmitri looks, his eyes different, no fear but respect, for the first time. In those strong, arrogant eyes, respect. Dmitri slowly takes Bruce's hand. Bruce pulls him up. Dmitri stands, trembling, legs weak, still recovering but standing. The hall still silent, but now a different silence. The first silence was curiosity, now it's reverence. No one knew that Bruce hadn't just delivered a physical blow. He had questioned everything Dmitri learned in 25 years of wrestling career in 6 seconds. And for the first time, Dmitri felt that his own power wasn't enough. Dmitri speaks, struggling, voice hoarse, Russian. The interpreter translates. What did you do? How? Bruce answers, calm, teacher mode, solar plexus, nerve center, diaphragm control. I didn't attack your muscles, I attacked your nerves. Muscle, no matter how big, doesn't respond without nerves. Dmitri listens, swallows, still in shock. I didn't feel anything, didn't see it coming, because you were expecting an attack, punch, kick, power. But I did something different. I read your energy and found the weak point. Dmitri nods, slowly. You are martial artist, real. Bruce smiles, first genuine smile. And you are wrestler, real. But every system has its own power. What matters is not the system but understanding the person applying it. Dmitri extends his hand, firmly. Western-style handshake. Bruce reciprocates. Both hands meet. Friendly. Equal. The hall starts applauding. First slow, then faster. 40 people. Soviet athletes, American athletes, coaches. Everyone applauding. Because what they saw wasn't just a fight. What they saw was the meeting of two cultures, two philosophies, and respect. Frank Martinez approaches Bruce, quietly. Bruce, this was incredible. I've been in this business for 30 years. Never seen anything like this. Bruce humble. It wasn't a show. I was teaching a lesson. Lesson. What lesson? The lesson of arrogance. The lesson of prejudice. The lesson showing that size doesn't always win. Frank takes a deep breath. Dmitri is a good man. Just cultural difference. In the Soviets, they teach power is everything. That's why. Bruce interrupts, gently. I understand, and I wasn't angry. I just needed to show. Respect doesn't come with size. Respect comes with understanding. In the afternoon, before the Soviet team leaves, Dmitri finds Bruce again. This time different. No proud walk. Humble. I apologize. What I said this morning was wrong. You are not toy. You are master. Bruce nods. Accepted. Apology wasn't necessary, but thank you. Dmitri continues. I want to learn. Your system. Is it possible? Bruce thinks. I'm in Los Angeles. You're in the Soviets, but I can teach principles. Today, a few hours. Dmitri's face lights up. Really? You will teach me? Why not? Martial arts isn't just technique, philosophy, and philosophy belongs to everyone. And that afternoon in Westwood Athletic Club's small training room, something happened that isn't written in history books. Soviet wrestling champion Dmitri Volkov took lessons from the man who defeated him 6 seconds ago. And that lesson wasn't just technique, it was life philosophy. 2 o'clock, small training room, just Bruce and Dmitri. No interpreter. Dmitri struggles with English, but understands. Bruce speaks slowly, demonstrates. In wrestling, you hold opponent, right? Dmitri nods. Yes, I grasp, I lift. But what if opponent doesn't allow holding? How? He can't escape. I'm very strong. Bruce smiles. Strength isn't always the answer. Look, Bruce allows Dmitri to grab his arm. Dmitri grips, firmly. Wrestlers hold. Bruce's arm completely under Dmitri's control. Now I will try to escape. Dmitri squeezes. Even stronger. Show. Bruce moves but doesn't pull, doesn't push, just rotates. Wrist at a specific angle toward the weak point of Dmitri's grip, and slips. Comes out. Dmitri's hand empty. Dmitri amazed. How? I was squeezing so hard. Because you relied on strength. I relied on angle. The right angle makes strength ineffective. This is Jeet Kune Do. Find the direct path. Don't use unnecessary force. Dmitri tries again, more carefully. Bruce escapes again. Different angle. Same result. A light comes on in Dmitri's eyes. This makes sense. I was only using strength, not angle. Same. Yes. And this can be used in wrestling too. You can be more effective using less force. The next 2 hours, Bruce demonstrates techniques. Dmitri learns not just fighting techniques, breath control, mental focus, body awareness, each one improving Dmitri's wrestling style, transforming it. 4 o'clock. The Soviet team is leaving. Bus ready. But Dmitri comes to Bruce one last time. In his hand a small badge. Soviet Wrestling Federation badge. Gold-colored. Russian writing on it. This is my championship badge. Very valuable. I want to give it to you. Bruce surprised. Dmitri, this is yours. You earned this. Yes, but you gave me something more valuable. Knowledge, respect, humility. This is more important. Bruce accepts. Holds the badge in his palm. Thank you. I will keep this. I won't forget. Dmitri smiles. Genuine, and I will forget the morning man. Arrogant, ignorant, and I will remember the new man, the learner. They shake hands, last time. Dmitri boards the bus. Waves from the window. Bruce waves back. The bus leaves, and Bruce looks at the badge. A small piece of metal, but there's great meaning inside. But the story doesn't end here, because when Dmitri Volkov returned to the Soviet Union after that day, he did something no one expected. He started teaching Bruce Lee's philosophy to the Soviet wrestling team. And at the 1972 Olympics they got unexpected results. August 1972. Munich Olympics. The Soviet wrestling team shows unexpected performance. Not just power, technique, angles, fluidity. Coach is amazed. This is a new style. Where did they learn this? Dmitri Volkov wins gold medal in his category. In the final match, he defeats his opponent with redirection instead of holding. Less force, more control. Commentators notice this. Volkov is fighting differently, smarter. On the podium, as they place the gold medal around his neck, Dmitri carries a small badge inside his chest. Not Bruce Lee's badge, his own badge. Because Bruce's is in Los Angeles, in Bruce's house, kept in a special place. And Dmitri quietly murmurs in Russian, "Be like water." 1985, Frank Martinez retires. Sells Westwood Athletic Club, but never sells one thing. The story of that day. He tells every new coach, every young athlete. 1971, March. Bruce Lee and Dmitri Volkov. 6 seconds. The most important lesson. Size doesn't mean power. Power means understanding. And understanding can come in any size. Young athletes listen. Some don't believe. 6 seconds? Really? Frank smiles. There were 40 witnesses. I was one of them. And those 6 seconds changed my life. Because I understood. When you enter the ring, you don't just have your body. You have your mind too. And sometimes the mind wins. That same night, Bruce writes in his journal at home. Small notebook. Handwriting. Careful characters. Today I encountered a Soviet wrestler. 320 pounds. Strong but arrogant. He called me a toy. I didn't get angry, because anger is weakness. I taught, in 6 seconds, and in the end we became friends. Because true victory isn't defeating the opponent, it's transforming the opponent. Be like water, fight with water, win with water, puts down the pen, looks out the window. Los Angeles nightlights, quiet, peaceful, and Bruce smiles. Because that day at Westwood Athletic Club wasn't just a match, it was the meeting of two worlds, two philosophies, two hearts, and 6 seconds had turned into eternity.